The wind howled across the empty plains, carrying flakes of snow that bit like knives. The winter had come early to Arizona territory, turning the red dirt into a world of white. A lone cowboy rode through the storm, his hat pulled low, his coat covered in frost. His name was Jesse Cole, a man who'd spent more nights under the stars than he could remember. He wasn't supposed to be out this far north, but he was searching for a missing horse, a wild Mustang worth more than a month's pay. The wind grew stronger, blurring the horizon until he could barely see his own hands. Then through the haze of snow he saw something, a shadow on the ground. Jesse pulled his horse to a stop and jumped down. There, half buried in the snow, lay a woman. Her skin was bronze, her long black hair tangled with frost. She wore a torn deerskin dress, the kind worn by Apache women. Her lips were blue, her body shook faintly, fighting the cold. "Hey, can you hear me?" Jesse called, kneeling beside her. Her eyelids fluttered. "Go away," she whispered weakly in broken English. Jesse frowned. "You'll die if I leave you here." He lifted her gently, wrapping his coat around her shivering body. She resisted at first, her pride stronger than her strength, but she soon went limp against him. Jesse led his horse to a rocky hollow nearby, where the cliff broke the wind. He started a small fire with the last of his matches. When the flames flickered to life, the woman stirred. "What, help me?" she asked, her eyes suspicious yet soft. "'Cause I ain't one to let anyone freeze to death," he replied. "Not even someone who might not like cowboys much." She said nothing, only turned her face away, watching the fire. Her name, he later learned, was Nita, meaning bear in her tongue. She'd been separated from her tribe while hunting. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. Jesse handed her a strip of dried beef. She hesitated before taking it, her hands trembling. As the night deepened, the temperature dropped even lower. The small fire wasn't enough to fight the cold. Jesse watched her shiver violently, her teeth chattering uncontrollably. He sighed. "If we stay apart, we'll both freeze," he said softly. "The only way to survive this cold is to hug me." Her dark eyes widened. "You lie." "Ma'am," he said seriously, "I swear it's just to keep you alive." For a moment she hesitated. Then finally, slowly, she moved closer. Jesse wrapped his arms around her, feeling how fragile and cold she was. The warmth of his body began to seep into hers, and soon her trembling eased. Outside, the wind screamed across the plains, but inside that tiny shelter 2 hearts beat close together, steady and warm. Neither spoke again that night, but in the silence, something wordless began to grow, something stronger than fear, deeper than the cold. By dawn, the storm had quieted, leaving behind a world buried in silver snow. The fire had long gone out, but Nita was still in Jesse's arms, her head resting against his chest. He hadn't slept much, just watched the snow fall and listened to her breathing. It had been years since anyone had slept so close to him. When she opened her eyes, the morning sun lit her face. She pulled back suddenly, realizing how close they were. "You did not touch me wrong?" she asked, her voice small, unsure. Jesse shook his head. "No, ma'am. I gave you my warmth, that's all. I promised to keep you alive, not take advantage." For the first time, a faint smile curved her lips. "Then you are not like other white men," she said quietly. They shared what little food Jesse had left, then saddled his horse. The snow made travel slow, and Nita's feet were bare and bleeding. Without a word, Jesse lifted her into the saddle and walked beside her, leading the horse through the snow-covered trail. As they journeyed, she told him pieces of her story, how her tribe had been driven from their land, how soldiers had taken her brother, and how she'd gone hunting alone to bring food back. She hadn't expected the storm. Jesse listened silently, guilt washing through him. "Not all cowboys or settlers are bad," he said finally. "Some of us just want to live free, same as your people." The trail led them to an old trapping cabin near the canyon rim. Jesse pushed open the door. It was half broken, but inside it was dry and safe. He built a fire again, while Nita warmed her hands near the flames. For a while they sat in silence, the only sound the crackle of burning wood. You could leave me now, Nita said softly. You saved me. You did what's right. Jesse looked at her, his eyes thoughtful beneath the brim of his hat. And what about you? You got anywhere to go? She looked down. My tribe. Maybe far away. Maybe gone. Then I'll take you as far as I can, he said. After that, you can choose where you want to go. But you won't be alone. Tears welled in her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away. You are a strange man, Cowboy. You speak kindness like fire and cold. Jesse chuckled softly. Guess we both needed a little warmth. Days later, when the snow finally melted and the plains opened wide again, Jesse helped her find a small Apache camp near the mountains. Her people welcomed her back with tears and songs. Before she left, Nita turned to him. You gave me life, she said, touching his chest. And maybe you took a piece of my heart. Jesse smiled sadly. Then we're even, Nita. You took mine too. As he rode away into the golden horizon, the wind whispered through the canyon, carrying the memory of one cold night where two strangers found warmth, not just of body but of soul.